Hey guys, my name is Dr. Ashish Gula, and I'm the author of the Pediatrics Board Review Educational Series. And today is a very special day. I got something in the mail, and I want to share it with you, and it's inside this box. All right, so this is the Pediatrics Board Review 2020 edition of the Core Study Guide. Okay. And this is the Q&A book, a little tiny thing. And so I'm just really excited to share these books with you. A lot of work has gone into making sure that these are top-notch, updated, and ready for you to go ahead and use to pass the pediatric boards. But before I talk a little bit more about these particular books, I want to take this as an opportunity to talk to you about information overwhelm. I truly believe that information overwhelm is the #1 reason that pediatricians end up failing the boards. And this is even good pediatricians, great pediatricians that are really, really good clinicians. But then they go out there and they try to use this as an opportunity to try to master everything out there. And information overwhelm, it comes in a couple of different flavors. Flavor #1 is you're just using every single resource that's out there because you're afraid that you're not going to expose yourself to enough content to pass the pediatric boards. Well, you end up becoming a master of none when that happens. You just spread yourself way too thin amongst too many resources, and you can't get that repetition that you need to get those ideas reinforced and cemented in your mind for the middle of October. Okay. Flavor #2 is you decide, okay, I'm just going to use one resource, but then you end up getting every single one of their resources. And what you don't realize is that most board review companies, in fact, like almost all board review companies, do not do a good job of making sure that all of their resources are what I call congruent, meaning that you can easily go from one resource to another and you're actually looking at the same information just in a different modality. So what happens is you get their books and you get their videos and you go to the live course and you have their syllabus, and all 4 of these different things are actually pretty different. And you're trying to master all of this information, but in the end, you can't master any of them, okay? And you can't get the repetition of any single one of them because you're going through all these different things and you're hopping around. And so that's why at Pediatrics Board Review, I focused very, very hard on efficiency and congruency. A lot of resources out there are just so dense to begin with, you may as well just be picking up a Nelson's. And from my own board review experience, and after having failed the pediatric boards because I did end up putting myself into a state of information overwhelmed, I focused very much on just kind of dumbing it down for myself and making sure that I just had a core chunk of content that was going to get me a good score. And I blew it out of the park. I scored above the national average and had the American Board of Pediatrics ask me to start writing questions for them. So I knew that efficiency and congruency were the ways to help other people pass the pediatric boards, whether it was their first time taking the pediatric boards or their 5th or 6th or 7th time. And that's what I've gone on to do. And our members tell us that we've done a great job of simplifying the complex, okay? You'll see in the Pediatrics Board Review Course Study Guide that our topics are bite-sized. I can open this up to pretty much any page and you'll see the topics are bite-sized. We have a bunch of double takes in there, so some of the content is repeated in multiple different chapters. We have name alerts to make sure that you're very, very aware of 2 different diseases that sound the same. And when you come across them, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I love the double takes. I love the name alerts. And whether you're a mnemonics person or not, certain mnemonics you're going to enjoy, and others, they may just not work for you. But there are a lot of mnemonics in here as well. And it's not that dense of a book to begin with. And when you take out all the mnemonics, it's not that much information that I'm asking you to master. But there are 2,500 topics in here, okay? And with other resources, you're going to have that discongruent, I don't even know if that's a word, but that discongruent experience as you're going through all of their different components of one quote unquote system. And that's not really a system. We've built a great PBR certification system. And in that system, we ask you to go through our resources in a multimodal way, because studies have shown that studying through a multimodal way is going to increase your learning. And so what I've done is I've made sure that all the topics in here are also available to you in the online video course and in our audio course, which is available through a download version as well as through a streaming version. And even in our picture atlas, all the pictures are laid out in the exact same order that you're going to find them in the course study guide. And so the idea behind that is I want you to have the repetition and reinforcement that you need to pass the boards. When I think about passing the pediatric boards, I think about 3 pillars. Pillar #1 is content. And the way that you're going to master it is through repetition. You want to repeat the core study guide and the Q&A book, and you want to go through in the hard copy version. But while you're driving, you should be able to go through the audio course and go through the exact same topics and learn the exact same content from a board certified pediatrician. And when you're going through the online video course, you should be able to watch a video, watch a slide, pause, look at your book, use it as a syllabus, highlight, take notes, move on to the next topic. And that's exactly what you can do, because all of the topics that are in here are in the online video course in the exact same way. That's what gives you a great congruent experience. And that's what has helped our pediatricians pass either on their first try, or literally we have helped people pass the boards after they have failed 5, 6, 7 times. We've helped multiple people pass the boards after they have failed 7 times. Okay. And that's because they were able to master the content through a multimodal fashion. What is pillar number 2? Well, pillar number 2 is test taking strategy. No board review company that I know of out there has a test taking strategies and deep study course. And when people come to us, they don't realize that they're not great test takers. As physicians, we just kind of think, oh, if we master the content, we're going to do great on the boards. We've all heard of bad test takers. And in general, what I found is that pediatricians and physicians, we're not great test takers. And learning test taking strategy, it's actually a skill. It's like doing a lumbar puncture. The more and more you learn about it, the more and more you become a master at it. And then you can actually apply that skill on every single board style question that you ever come across on the boards that you take this year and on any future board exam that you end up taking. And so test taking strategy is one of these things that it's so leverageable that spending just a little bit of time on learning test taking strategy can dramatically skyrocket your scores. And deep study is something that most of us aren't great at. We're inundated with all kinds of distractions, and we're trying to study when we're tired and falling asleep at the books. And there are simple, small tweaks, little changes that you can make to make sure that you are getting deep study, to make sure that the time that you're spending in front of the books is really, really valuable, and that you're maximizing that time as opposed to just kind of spinning your wheels. You could have studied a ton last year, or you could have told yourself that you studied a ton, but actually it was low quality studying. You want to have the highest quality study. And so you want to master not only the content, but also your technique. And deep study techniques are going to help you master your content and your technique. All right. And so what is that number 3 pillar? The number 3 pillar is commitment. So a lot of folks, they say they had the commitment, they spent so many hours, but if that commitment was spent in a way where it wasn't high quality, well, then you're at risk for failing the boards. And also, a lot of us, we struggle to have a good schedule. And so at Pediatrics Board Review, I've created something called a personalized schedule. So we'll map out 3 months at a time for you. When you become a PBR member, you have the option to go ahead and get a personalized schedule. And what we do is we ask you a ton of questions. We want to figure out, are you low risk? Are you high risk for failing the pediatric boards? We want to find out from you, which days do you have off? Which days are you going to study? How many hours are you going to study on that day? How fast do you read? How slow do you read? How fast do you want to read during your first round through the material? How fast do you want to read through your second round, your third round? How many mock exams do you want to take? When do you want to take them? We take all of that information and we massage it out into a personalized schedule that is specifically just for you. And it'll say, on this day, you're going to start on page number this. It's going to be for chapter this, and you're going to finish on page number this for, the next chapter. And you're going to practice approximately this many practice questions. And on this day, you're going to take a mock exam. And then over the next couple of days, you're going to review all your answers for those mock exams. So it's great. It lays out everything for you, including, you're going to read at this many minutes per page during this particular round. And then as you move into the next round, based on what you told us, you're going to read at this pace. So it's really, really great. Pediatrics Board Review, I'm probably the pediatrician who has thought about the pediatric boards more than any other pediatrician in the entire country. I live, eat, and breathe this stuff. And my true goal is to help you pass the boards. So whether it's something big or small, I'm here to support you. My team is here to support you. So reach out to us. Go to pediatricsboardreview.com/content and let us know how we can help you out. Okay. Big or small, we're here to help you out. So if you need anything whatsoever, once again, head over to pediatricsboardreview.com/content, and either I or one of my amazing team members will get back to you very, very shortly. And if you have a question that only I can answer, trust me, I'm not that hard to get a hold of. Just let the team know that you really like Ashish to address it, and I will go ahead and address it. I wish you nothing but success this year. You have all the resources and tools ahead of you. And if you're thinking about taking the pediatric boards this year or in the next year or two, please, I beg you, go through the Pediatrics Board Review system. It may not be the only system that's going to get you a pass, but I promise, I guarantee you, it is the best. And that's why I offer a 100% money-back pass guarantee. That's right, that's a 100% first-time money-back pass guarantee, because I believe in this stuff so much and I really want you to pass that I've built the best thing possible to get you that pass. All right, guys, take care and best of luck on the boards.